guys, for those that don't know me, I'm Abigail. For those that do, welcome back. Yes, I know, I'm sorry it's been so long since last video, but for those that asked, had an awesome time in Sydney. Had a really nice time, met some amazing people. It was just like, oh, so nice to travel again up there with what I love to do. So I said I was going to do a video on past lives. And past lives is just one of those things that has me severely smacking my head against a wall. So I first started learning about past lives in the 70s, and then I studied with a Sikh teacher for nearly 7 years. Europeans we tend to embrace bits and pieces out of philosophy, not taking on the whole thing. So when I first heard about like past lives, it wasn't so much about the past life, but it was more about the future life, about how we behaved and spreading kindness. So in our next life we come back as wealthier or healthier, or it was about what we did within this lifetime to make our next lifetime more pleasurable. So when I talk about Indian philosophy, I'm talking about pre-Mountbatten splitting India to India and Pakistan, when it was all one, countries, borders change, but it was not an ideology or a philosophy that came through Christianity. This definitely came from this Indian belief system. So within the Indians, you have so many different religions, so many different belief systems, but you have a deep spirituality, and that's part of why it's so sad for these deeply spiritual people to be so ridden with poverty that they're caught up in all this scam stuff that's going on. It's just really sad that the poverty's that bad that people have to go against everything they've been taught and believe. So, okay, that aside. So then, so it was about 76. I am that old. It was about 76 I started learning about past lives when I did comparative religions. And then late 70s, it became a bit of a thing, and a lot of people, especially in England, their past lives were they were fallen warriors. This could be explained through genetic memory. It didn't necessarily mean it was past life, not to poo-poo it in any way at all, but it was explainable. Then it became popular again mid to late 90s, but it took a different twist to it, and it became more about being someone famous, and you had a lot of people set up that were really quite unethical. There was only one Cleopatra, so when 300, 400 people have been to the same reader and they were all Cleopatra, you know something's not right. So I can only give my personal take on it. What I was taught was, unless it is splintering someone's soul and negatively impacting on their current life, it is an internal journey of self-enlightenment for the person to discover for themselves. So you may go to learn how to get into that deep meditative state, how to take yourself past. You may learn the process, but it's not. It's a priest's job. It's a higher being's job. It's someone that teaches, or someone that is lives a spiritual life. Those are the only kind of people that are supposed to regress someone back, and it's about healing. It's not about bringing forward all the crap from previous lives and going deal with it. And so I have seen some people whose brains are seriously fried from unethical readers taking people down paths of past life where they've ended up ruining this life. But we're supposed to enjoy this life. It's not very long. You know, even if you live 80 years, it's only a moment in time. And to be carrying all the baggage of past lives, and now again I'm seeing the past life thing coming up, and very much buyer beware. You know, we can look at you and say that you're anything. Anyone can. You don't need to be a psychic to say, oh, you used to fight in the Crimea War, or you need proof. You need confirmation. And the only way you get that confirmation is to take that internal journey for what your soul has been through. There are a couple of times where, yes, you do intervene. Many years ago, I had a woman who had a problem here in her jaw, and it went on and on. She'd been to doctors, dentists, and this actually didn't actually turn out to be a past life issue, though it could have been. It was actually a genetic memory issue from when an ancestor had looked after someone that had lockjaw, and she reached that age, and once we'd actually talked about it, it got better. With past lives, yes, sometimes there's connections that can be quite destructive in this lifetime. And so you go to someone to have those bonds cut and removed, so you can function better in this lifetime. The only time we tend to really do regression into possibly past lives, sometimes just into your childhood or into the womb, occasionally it goes into past lives, is when there's a health issue. So I have had cases where people have developed a limp and they don't know where this limp's come from. They can't find anything medical, so they start to look spiritual, and then taking them through their own personal journey and walking that journey with them, they've been stabbed in that leg, and then so you go in and heal the past life so that it's no longer an issue in the current life, and that is very effective. We have to look at more of the philosophy than just the bits we like. And as I said, I've seen such a huge shift in what we're looking at past lives for, and what answers we're looking for from those past lives. Is there a clear, I think, educate yourself, really educate yourself. You're not meant to, the reason we forget is we're not meant to be carrying it in this life. Occasionally it may come through, and if it does, you deal with it, but someone shouldn't be charging you to sit down and say you were Mark Antony or you were Cleopatra, or it's just, that's not how the philosophy works. It's about being the best you can be, so your next life is improved on this. So for me personally, I've faced a lot of physical challenges and injuries in my lifetime, so I try to be the best person I can be, so that next time round maybe I don't have to face these physical challenges. Okay, I know it was a bit long and it hasn't even scratched the surface, but please don't get conned. The whole point of when I set up the Facebook group Perth WA Psychic Tarot was to inform people what to ask, what to look at, so you don't get ripped off, so you don't get conned. The theory of of how you go back. It is well documented. You put yourself in a deep meditation state and you go back in time. You go back through your childhood and into previous. We weren't always human. You know, we could have been an animal in a previous life. So, and with some of the more radical um, people with more radical animal views, but I have personally dealt with, this is not blanket, have actually been animals and eaten in a previous life, which explains their absolute loathing for people eating animals, and that's understandable. So just be careful that you're not getting conned. There are too many people out there that will take your money off you. It's hard to find someone that is genuine. Um, Once you learn the process, and when you go off and you do it for yourself and you discover exactly what makes you you. So with past lives we have the genetic memories that are created from our genetics. So we can sometimes throw, in the same way we can have mannerisms and behaviours, we can sometimes throw up memories from genetic life, from our ancestors. So be aware that the person you're dealing with may not be as learned as they should be, may not understand that it's part of a bigger philosophy, that that what we've taken as Europeans from that philosophy has changed. Okay, I'm sorry it's so long, and I will be back soon, I hope. If you don't follow me on Facebook, it'd be great if you did. So Abigail May, but I run the Facebook group Perth WA Psychic Tarot. So I forgot to put it on, but I'd like to thank Koi Girl. She gave me this awesome headscarf that matches what I'm wearing, and then I promptly forgot it, of course, because that's just me. Okay, bye guys, you take care, and I will talk to you soon.